shit is clear.
Hey, what's good, world? It's your media arts specialist. I go by the name of D.Bail, representing for VitalGroundz. Hip hop is our culture. This is us. You know what I'm saying? And we holding it down. All right. I got who I like to call visionary, but it's a little bit more than that. You know what I'm saying? He is an entrepreneur. He is a talented hip hop artist. He's a fashion designer. He's a graphic designer as well. He's a promoter. He's also a boss, a CEO status. You know, he wears a lot of hats. He goes by the name of Mic Handz. I want to thank you, my brother, for coming to join us. This is vital, man.
It's absolutely vital.
Yes, sir.
It's a blessing to be here, man. Seriously. I've been watching the VitalGroundz movement since those roots didn't quite have that kind of depth. When it was first, positioned to me what it was going to be about, I knew it was a necessity. So.
Definitely, man. I mean, hip hop is our culture. We have to preserve it. Yes. And who better than us to do that, man?
Absolutely.
Now, you wear a lot of titles, okay? And I just want to ask you, man, how do you maintain all of that, man? Because that's a lot of work that you're putting in right now.
Well, in honesty, like I said, it's out of necessity.
Okay.
So, I didn't know I was going to love to do the things I do. I just knew that I was in a position where they needed to be done. I didn't have the budget to pay for it. So it was either sit on the bench and wait until they tell me it's game time or somebody was willing to deliver me from my situation, or learn the playbook and figure out how to play all the positions until somebody came to the park to play with me. So that's what it was. So I started as a point guard, and then I realized once I passed the ball down low and there was nobody to get it, I had to figure out how to play a power forward and a small forward. And when the ball came off, I had to figure out how I was going to hold down the center and, shooting guard. So at the end of that, it was like, okay, cool, we all on the floor, but who's going to coach?
Right.
Damn, we need a gym. So, you know what I mean? So when you knew it was like, you playing by yourself, but you're playing. And eventually, once people see that zeal and they see that consistency and that dedication, then they decide that, you know what, I'm gonna go play over there.
Right.
And then before you know it, you get to sit back and just coach.
That's
and keep your jersey, but that's what it was. So it came out a lot of showing and proving. People thought I might be worth working with, but once they seen the working model, which I had to create on my own, that's when they jumped in.
We're gonna get into that a little bit deeper as we move on. So I want to talk a little bit about Flatbush, Brooklyn. Okay, early. Okay, the hip hop scene from the golden era MCs, Special Ed, from moving a little bit further to Shine, and then even moving into the current generation with Joey Badass and even Bobby Shmurda. What is it about Flatbush?
Beef patties.
Brooklyn. Okay, beef patties.
Cocoa bread.
Yeah.
Bun and cheese. Nah, it was crazy. Shine and Ed were basically from the same block, 19th, 18th, that whole side of town.
Okay.
17th, Master Ace and Craig G was there at one point. General Steele from Smith & Wesson lived on 17th at one point too. Then my cousins, Spick and Span, which were on Arista, first cousin, my uncle's brother's sons were Shane and Kane.
Okay.
So they would be in the basement with Ed, Special Ed, and all of them at my aunt's house all the time, right there again in Flatbush.
Right.
Most people didn't know Cold Chillin', which was the label that housed and gave you the Juice Group. The owner, Fly Ty, lived 2 doors down from me in Flatbush. So you would have Shantae and Craig and Granddaddy IU and Tragedy and, Coogee Rap and Master Ace and Shan, all of them on my block.
Queensbridge,
Flatbush.
Wow, that's crazy.
And these are Queensbridge guys.
Yeah,
Long Island guys. I don't know. Flatbush is just a very vibe-oriented space, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. For us to be apple pies and pinstripe American, the majority is all West Indian.
Yeah.
Or Caribbean of some level.
Right.
Be it Haitian or Trini, Jamaican, Guyanese, Bajan, something.
Big Caribbean vibes.
It's always music. It's always culturally driven. It's always rhythm driven. So, going to the park wasn't just playing ball, playing tag. Going to the park was a cipher in the corner.
Definitely.
So most of these MCs we're talking about, like Caden Park, which is tatted on my arm.
Right.
We grew up. I remember for years I would stand and watch the cipher, scared to get in, even though I had raps.
Right.
I just didn't think I was good enough to rap with them. So
that's how competitive it was.
Yeah, I used to just watch.
Wow.
The Poe Riches and the Mr. Octobers and you know, Don Meadows, you know, Fran, like all these guys that are legends in Flatbush, OD. You just watch them, like, wow. You know, Phantasm from Cellar Dwellers, you know, Rampage and Buster.
Yeah.
All of this is Flatbush origin, so.
MC Light.
MC Light, this is all Flatbush origin. So you, Lord have mercy, on New York. It's like, it's all right there. The Spliff Star, Troy and Church. It's like all there. So
you growing up and you're envisioning. I mean, you're surrounded by legends. You're surrounded by the essence every single day.
Yeah, and then you know, in all due respect, you have Flatbush Zombies, the new young cats from the Junction side.
Facts.
You got the underachievers. You got Joey Badass. You got Smurda, and the GS9 cast it up there with my man Lava down in the 90s. All these guys, you know, Rowdy, all these dudes are from the same parkway. You know what I mean? The same Juve night, the same cats. So yeah, I say beef patties is what it is.
Most definitely, man. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, all right, we know hip hop, fashion and hip hop go hand in hand.
Yeah.
What is the connection for you? How does fashion on your side mix in with the hip hop music that you're putting out?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I started rhyming in ciphers in fashion industries, high school.
Okay.
So I I had no choice. Like, it was tied together from jump for me. The lunchroom, when people like, yo, son, remember banging? I was in fashion banging on the lunchroom table.
Yeah.
Cutting class, like, there used to be this room called 201 that had the courtroom in it that had the best acoustics in the world. And if you banged on the court, it was literally shaped like a judge's. If you banged on that, the bass on it was so crazy.
Right.
That even the corny kids sound like they beatbox and they bang game with me, like
Putting in work.
yeah. So between that and the acoustics in the stairwell, like it was what it was. But here's where I really realized that there was an alliance between fashion and music. I was working at Sean John, and then after Sean, I was at Azori, right? So I'm working for an independent at the same time, so there's the fashion trade show in Vegas, Magic, which is
Magic show, yeah. It's like a big expo.
It's the expo.
It's the expo,
So
right.
you have Bread and Butter, you have the project show, you have Traffic, you have the Miami show, you have the Puerto Rico show, you have the Atlanta Paramount, you have Russo's on the Bay in New York, you have all of these trade shows throughout the year. But the show is Magic. Magic is the one.
That's it, yeah.
So you figure, look at the Jacob Javits Center. And you know, that's roughly a mile long.
Right.
There's literally one block of free space at the back, but there's aisles, and it's like from 0001 booth to 2009 booth.
Yeah.
You know, it's that many vendors. And that's just one floor. You go in the basement, it's mirrored with the factories have their booths. So we call that sourcing. So you have who has the fabrics, who has the denim, who has the hang tags, who has the printing, who, you know?
Right.
So there's this whole world of fashion. And there's roughly 500,000 to 1 million, because it's normally a week long in August, 4 days in February.
Okay.
And there's normally like 1 million people here. So it's like this fish in a barrel type of market. And then this particular year, 2003, 2004, everybody that rapped had a clothing line coming out. So you had Doggy Style with Snoop, you had Rough Riders, you had G Unit, you had Beyonce, Darion coming, you had Rockaware, you had Fat Farm, you had Baby Fat, you had like Paul Wall had a brand, you know, he had your shirt sitting sideways. It was like everybody had clothing, you know, and it became the thing for artists to position themselves. So now the Magic Show is something different.
Right.
Because now you got, it's Magic all day, and we can't compete with Mecca or RP55, because they're actually fashion people. But they can't mess with us in the marketing space.
Not at all.
Because we're actually these big entertainers that they would hire to come to the shows, and now it's our show.
Right.
So they would kill them at night and do these huge promotionals around the artists and the brand, while we were doing the brand and an artist, you know?
Gotcha.
So it became this huge thing, like Megan Good, Eve, like I got a story, Megan Good. good story. Killed myself. I want to jump in front of the bus every time I tell something. But there's just all of these energies, right? So you got Diddy with Sean John walking across the room to, you know, Uncle Rush, you know, Russell Simmons opening the door with like a shrimp or something hanging out of his mouth with her hands. I'm like, what? With a portable sushi bar that's just following them around the event. Ice sculptures. We at the Palms Hotel. The Baby Fat logo is shined like Batman on the side of the building, right? This Fat Farm, Baby Fat, and Motorola. Remember the razors came out?
Yeah.
The gift bags, he gave us all razors.
The razor
phone
phone.
got the razor phone.
Those
right?
were exclusives back in the day, man.
Rockaway Party was better because everybody got a tennis bracelet, a diamond tennis bracelet in the gift bag. That was the swag bag of the century. But we got the razor phones, and then that was the year that Fat Farm introduced the shell toe. It was like a shell toe Adidas, but it was a Fat Farm sneaker. So you all got sneakers at the end of the night, the swag bag, your phone. Your phone is on for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Almost like on a boost plan type something. But it was the craziest thing because everybody's trying to outdo everybody.
Right.
He had an ice sculpture. When you walked in, everybody's there, clicking LeBron when he was young. Like just everybody's floating around. Iverson, I got all this memorabilia in my room.
It's like almost like a party.
No, it's absolutely a party. Because at night, you know, they're trying to do all the hobnobbing to follow up on the meetings at the booth during the day.
Gotcha.
And everybody's trying to show that they're cachet or that they're the it team, you know? I'm gonna tell you, I'm too who outdid this, but when we go into this party at the Palms, forget the fact there's a flat screen in the floor. So when you step in, there's a flat screen in the floor. You're standing on the flat screen. But there's a full hardwood half court in the suite.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's baller at another level right there, man. When you can,
It's a half court in the suite. So I'm like, okay, this is not my life. There was another company, went to their situation, they had a full bowling alley in the suite.
In the suite?
At the Palms as well.
Right.
Then, Rockaway, I think, shot them all in the forehead. Because you remember when Dark Knight Rises, I think that was the one that came out? That must have been them. When Dark Knight Rises, I could have sworn I turned this off too, by the way. But, remember the Tumbler that Batman drove?
Yes.
Rockaway had the Tumbler in the booth. On a turntable. On like a Lazy Susan. The Batmobile is in your... If you can beat the Batmobile, like... Rockaway had a full like bar and diner space, counter space in there. So when you're waiting on your salesperson, you get a mimosa and some fruit and all that. It was a block long. Like their whole booth was like the size, like they bought 4 booths and made one long booth. And then they had other brands. So they had Jeezy's brand 187.
Yeah, I remember
They
that.
had the CEO brand where Dame had the sneakers.
And Pro Kids.
Yeah, with Pro Kids, exactly.
Yes, man.
So all of this was happening in this block long booth. But then Fat Farm, not to be outdone, has the duplex booth. So they got the showroom downstairs and you're taking the meetings upstairs on the 2nd floor.
Right.
So I say it all to say that music and fashion has now fused into this one arena. And you're seeing that, wait a minute, I got a relationship with Diddy because when I was at Sean John, my extension was 13, his was 10.